math test. Now, let's look at our progress first. Let's look at our scores. This is your first CBA. Then this is where you were for our assessment, okay? The second assessment we took, though, look at where your score went to. What can you tell me about this?
That it moved up.
It moved up. Now, why do you think that happened?
Because I got better at doing math with I got better.
Okay, so do you think your fact fluency, how you could do it more automatically, is helping? Good, good. Okay, now how does that make you feel overall? Does it make you feel good to see it going up? Mm-hmm. Do you kind of take pride in yourself, knowing that you can do it, right? Okay, good. Now, when you think back to this test, remember this was the one that we did on fractions, and we showed how many parts were in the whole and how many parts of the whole made the fraction. Did you think that was easy, or was it hard?
Easy.
You thought it was easy? So you really understood what you were working on? So do you see how when you really focus on that task and you make it to where it becomes easy to you, that when you're testing, what happens to your score?
It moves up.
It moved up. Now, you were way up here with your first CBA. So do we still have a little room to grow up here? Sure we do. Sure we do. So when you were writing your goal contract, let's look at what you write. A goal for you to work towards is getting to 100 points on my test. So that way your whole line will be filled up, okay? Your score was an 85. So that's really close to 100, isn't it? Okay. So what are we going to do to build this score even? Maybe, let's say our next one, since we're at 85, what if your next goal is to get to 90? Would you still be growing? Yes, you're still going to be learning and still going to be growing. So let's look at some of the things you have written down here that are going to help you get to that 90 goal. That's only 5 more points. That's easy and that's doable, right? Do you remember when we talked about our goal setting and it had to be something we could measure? You have to be able to see it, right? So do you think 5 points, is that a measurable goal? Can I measure from 85 to 90? Yeah, sure we could. Because then that next step will be right up here, right? So we're taking small steps, but it's towards a bigger goal. So you said working hard on all of your tests. That's good, because we know that when we get rushed, what can happen?
You could fail the test.
You could fail the test, make silly mistakes, right? That you know the answer to, but you just rushed and saw something you thought, oh, that's the answer. But what do we have to do? Work it out. What's those, and what?
Take time.
Take your time. Take your time. Listening when the teacher's talking. What happens if you don't listen when I'm teaching?
You will get the discussion.
Exactly. You might miss a very important piece of the instructions. Good handwriting. Why do you think good handwriting is important?
So you won't get like a bad grade on your work, and so the teacher can read it.
So I can read it. That's really important. But do you think that maybe if you had rushed through your handwriting and let's say that you had written a 2 but it was really a 3, would that make a mistake on your test? Yeah, it would. And if you got that wrong because of one simple mistake like that, that's a very good one, an important one in everything you do, not just in math. Okay, I love this one. Show my work. Show your work. Do you think that's important when you're especially subtracting and you show your work so that you know that your addition or your subtraction is correct, so that you can look at those answer choices? And if you work it out, does it give you the answer? Very good. I really like the way you're thinking about this and how it's not just pertaining to math, but into your learning overall. So you said this test was pretty easy. Do you think there's anything else you could do on this test? Or just in any test in general that might make it even easier?
Sometimes you could, if it's like a test that's placed, you could like put the biggest number on top and the number on the bottom. You figure what the number is.
Right, so that's actually setting up your problems, right? So when you make sure you set up your problems correctly, are they easier to solve? Very good, like that. So I want you to think back on everything we've covered lately in the last couple of weeks. We've covered fractions, we've reviewed our double-digit addition and subtraction. What do you think you need help with? If you had to work on one thing out of fractions, double-digit addition with borrowing, with double-digit subtraction with borrowing, or addition with carrying, what do you think you would need to do out of those three? Which one do you think you need the most work on? The addition or subtraction?
The
Addition, adding more numbers together, right? Okay, good. Regrouping, that's what we need to call it, right? Because we regroup. Now, so on your plan, showing your work, I think that's great. Working hard, giving everything you have, 100% all of the time, right? That sounds great. So I really like your plan. And remember we talked about our secrets to goal setting? And what's the one we need to look at? 3 and 4. Read your goal when?
every day.
Every day. I want you to read it before we start math every day. Okay? When you're visualizing yourself, can you picture yourself reaching that goal? You think you'll be happy if that paper comes back and it's a 90? Would you be happy if it came back and it was a 95? Very much so. Now, if it comes back and maybe you score an 85 or maybe you score a little bit lower, is that going to really get you down? You'll kind of be upset, but you know what? It tells you what you really need to work on. Okay? So I like the way you're keeping your goals set. I like the way that you've written your contract out. Your handwriting is very good. So that tells me that. Now I'm going to give you my pen. And I want you to sign your name right here. Write your name right there. And then I'm going to sign my name right here by it. By signing my name to this, I am guaranteeing you that I will help you reach and meet and exceed your goals. Okay? Now we're going to attach this to our goal sheet and keep it in our goal folder. And that way you can look at this every single day when we start our math, okay? And anytime you are working on your math and you find something that maybe you need to work on, the whole back of this page is here. And you can just make a note down that maybe I need to work on equivalent fractions. Maybe you want to work on 3D shapes, okay? So anytime you feel like you need help on something and you want to remember that, all you have to do is write it in, okay? Sound like a deal? Sounds like a deal to me. You made me a great promise today. Thank you very much. Now you can work on your